All right, hello everyone. This is Rob for Smirking Gun Reviews, and we have reached the end of this season. It is The Handmaid's Tale Season 2, Episode 13, The Word. Um, this episode had everything, so if you haven't seen it, feel free to go watch it and then come back, because will be full of spoilers. And again, if you can't handle coarse language, I don't know what I'm going to say during this video, so I've been known to swear a few times. So I recommend if you can't handle that, please don't watch this. Um, this episode had a bit of everything, and I hate the writers of this show sometimes. I really do. Um, but this had like everything that you'd want pretty much. Um, as if you were going to have a season finale, and hopefully the next season will be the last. Um, I'm gonna not follow this. I'm just gonna think about it and then talk about it. So as it catches me, and I'm not gonna hit everything. But if we just go after like maybe the characters, so like Emily uh, thinks she's gonna have her first ceremony, and it doesn't happen. This guy, he's not interested in that, and she had the knife to basically, I think she was going to kill herself or kill him or both. But when he tells her that he's not interested in doing that with her, um, you know, she's relieved, I guess, goes to her room. But she still has the knife. And so when Aunt Lydia comes the next day and tells her that everything is, been fine, the guy's like, ooh, this was splendid. Um, and, she's not saying anything, and Aunt Lydia is just being herself, turns her back. I'm like, she's got the knife still. And yes, as Aunt Lydia is walking away, Emily sticks her in the back and then clocks her as she flies over the banister down into the stairs. And then here's one of the things about the writing that I didn't like. Okay, I've been saying, like, why does the character do this? And it's the writers. And there is a case to be made that she was in shock that she did it. But once she starts kicking her, because they have this long pause of like kind of, I did that. And then the satisfaction of having her at your mercy. Problem is, you don't have that mercy for very long. You don't have that time. And so the time that it takes for her to just casually walk down there feeling superior over your victim, your enemy, you've done the thing that, all of us have wanted to do. And then she starts kicking her and stuff. Look, if you've already committed to this and you want her gone, I'm not saying. I'm just saying that this was your opportunity to take out Aunt Lydia for good. And I just don't like that choice. I think that Emily's rage would have caused her to just. But that's just my opinion. I'm sure I'm going to hear a lot of things in the comments about that. But she doesn't kill her. She allows her to be taken to an ambulance and goes into her room where she at first is like, oh my God, and then realizes what she's done. She's in effect ended her life. So when her commander comes and throws her in a car, what are we going to do with you? And this is where the writing is good, because they're driving her away and Emily is clearly thinking she's being executed, and he puts on music, and it's Walking on Broken Glass by Annie Lennox. And that's a good song, but when you're on your way to your death, I mean, that would be maddening to be listening to that song. Like, walking on. Oh my God. Because, I mean, come on, you're walking on broken glass. It's basically like, kind of like saying like, I don't know. So I would have told him to turn the music off too. And that's where we'll stop for her story for a minute. We have Serena, who After June and everybody, June and Rita, I think is her name, the Martha, find Emily's Bible, and it has all these notes in it. So not only was she reading, she was also writing. Um, and I guess, when you see this, you realize that she was not the enemy. She wasn't an obstacle. She was just a kid. And so my perception of her was wrong, and all of our perceptions of her were probably wrong. I mean, except for the fact that she was a kid and shouldn't be in this situation at all. So when June takes the Bible to Serena and tries to, beseech her, womanly, whatever, of course, Serena tells her to get the fuck out. But it does plant the seeds in Serena that this was a 15-year-old kid. You guys just executed her for reading, for having a brain, which leads, Serena to go to, one of her little, I don't know, gatherings of other like-minded women and begins to, feel out who else might want something better for their kids than what's being, offered by the men of Gilead. And you know where this is headed. If you don't, then you're a dum-dum. Because these men, if you want to call them men, these cowards, these fucking narcissistic women haters, they're not gonna. They weren't ever going to entertain this, no matter what. This does pull the curtain back though for these ladies, and I thought it was such a great. The way they filmed it was such a great and tragic way of doing it. You've got this dark room with all these dark men sitting at these things, and the women come in, and they're like the shock of when it's just Serena saying, "Hey, let's have some thoughts about some amendments," and who else are you talking about? Who else was she talking about? Who else could she be talking about? So in about all these wives walk in, and it's supposed to be this grand gesture, and it's shot really well, but it means nothing to these people. It means nothing. It's literally an empty gesture. Yes, they are doing something. They are doing something right, sort of, because let's face it, they shouldn't be in this situation to begin with. This shouldn't be a thing. We shouldn't be having a bunch of women trying to fight for the right to read a Bible. Okay? Let's get that straight. This is all wrong, no matter how right they're being right in this moment. So, when they propose their thing, and you can tell with that evil look on, that just dark look on Fine's face, and the looks of oh, what do we do? Our wives are here. Look on their faces. Yes, everything will be. We'll look into it. Yes, yes, they will. Has anybody ever? Ugh. So they're in the hallway, talking, oh, this is. Oh my goodness, you did that. Oh. Lasts for about 30 seconds before old Fred walks out and says, "Ladies, need to talk to my wife for a second," and proceeds to have the guards take her away. Because what other outcome was there? Did anybody that watches this show actually think that this was going to work? So she's let off to God knows what. I had no idea. I was like, well, but she shows up at the house missing a finger. And, we have more of just this whole June talking to Serena, and I tried. Yeah, you did try. And this is her path of redemption. This is the beginning of, where, she's the hypocrisy and all this, and there's no future here for anyone, if you're not a man. So at least there's that. I still say there's only one way out for Serena, and that is some sort of sacrifice now. Like if they execute her or whatever. All these women to me are done. I don't care what they do. They have sided with a philosophy that is evil, and I don't care for what reasons they did it. I don't care if it's for so they could have a baby, because nobody should have a baby in this world that they're living in. They should not want this, but they took it. They did it. So I don't care. I still don't care. All these women can have complete turnarounds, and I still want them gone. This whole thing needs to be scorched earth. So, um, wow, kind of didn't swear, but I lost track of my little. So, Serena, you know, Fred's going to make her tea, and of course June's down there, and that's another thing with June. To say, like June has hit fuck it, okay. You've seen it in her eyes and the looks and the. She has definitely hit fuck it this episode, and that's great. That's great. It's really nice to see. Um, and when Waterford, who I truly believe, man, he just hates women. I don't know why he wants to offer June around after the fact. We can try again. We can try for a boy. We can get meetings with Hannah, even after she tells him to go fuck himself. He's still going, and I'm like, what? You seem to hate women, really. I mean, because even after when June and him get in their little slap fight, which was also cool. I mean, again, when she's sitting there and he says that women are like the bane of men's existence, kind of, you know. Why does he want her around? I mean, he really, this man, this person, this coward, this fuckhead. Ugh. So, you know, he makes the tea, takes the tea. Like I love the whole pushing of the tray for some reason. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but it just there's something about the way he's moving it. Part of me thought he was gonna crack her upside the head with the tray, but he doesn't. Um, and let's just get to the big thing here. I mean, so Rita, the Martha, after listening to stuff about Eden and everything and how she was terrible to her and she could have done something more for her, I knew it was like, okay, Rita's gonna pull some shenanigans. Good shenanigans, but shenanigans nonetheless. And starts a fire. There's a fire started across the street, and this is where she tells June to get the baby, we can get you out. Now this is one of the parts that I was like, I hate the writers. Because in a situation where you got to get the hell out of Dodge and you got to do it fucking right now, dramatic pauses to say goodbye, things like that just really drive me damn nuts. So not only, I mean, yes, you have to get your shit, you have to get the baby, you have to get out of there. And so first we have the hug and, oh, I love you, Rita. Okay, fine. You get one. And then it's just like, when did she have time to write the message in the room? And then, okay, fine, you're going to have to maneuver your way out. That's understandable. But then, when she gets to Serena, and we have this, like, long, it felt like forever scene of, where are you taking my baby? It's not your baby, bitch. Where she allows her to say goodbye. What would have been better, would have been sweeter and more concise, and not have this like tense scene of like everybody looking around like they're coming for us any second, would just be an acknowledgement. Serena just quietly stands there in the doorway, knowing what's happening, knowing that this has to happen, this needs to happen, this can't go on, and just says like, and nods and turns and walks away. To me, this whole who is that for? is that I feel like that's pandering. You're stretching out the drama and the tension for no reason, and you're pandering, like, to what? Pad out the episode? I'm sorry, I don't care. Here's okay. Well, she's turned around and she's gonna let her go and she deserves to say goodbye to the baby. No, she doesn't. Okay? This is just the writers being assholes. So, anyway, we get out. She leaves Serena, finally, and they're doing the whole Underground Railroad with the Marthas, which is cool. But again, like, hey, get out. That's what I want. And maybe that's what the writers knew, is that we just wanted that people were going to be sitting there yelling at their TVs going, just get the fuck out of there. So when we finally get to the tunnel and, the car finally pulls up, and of course we get there and it's Emily and the commander. He is letting Emily and June out. He is getting them out with like a real legit car. So he's using all his strengths to get June and her baby and Emily out. And he even says it, I'm getting myself into deep shit. Speaking of deep shit, that's also going to be Rita. It's also going to be Nick, because Fred knows before he even goes upstairs what just happened. And then Nick stopping him from leaving at gunpoint, threat of gunpoint. Yeah, that's pretty much it for them. But then Emily gets into the. First off, the commander is also trying to redeem himself. But if you listen to what he's been saying, he's responsible for a lot of people's deaths. So if you want to clap for him, go ahead and clap for him. But he's just doing the thing that he should have been doing or never should have done in the first place. Whatever. Emily gets in the car, truck, van, armored vehicle, and June, again, slow, dragging out, stretching this out for no reason but for dramatic tension, gives the baby to Emily and says, call her Nicole, and then proceeds to close the fucking door. Because now she's what? She gets the look on her face again that I'm going to kick some ass. And proceeds to let the car drive away. So yes, her baby didn't have to stay there. And Emily is out. And now she's stuck there, and that look on her face tells me I'm going to start some shit. And that's all well and good, but that was just stupid. That was just stupid. It gives the writers the opportunity to do some other stuff, and that's fine, whatever. But I don't have to like it right now. When I see next season and things start to play out, we'll see. We'll see if I'll like that decision. But I think right now, first impressions, that was the fucking stupidest thing. Just dumb. Even though the thought of June, like guerrilla style, terrorizing Gilead sounds great. But right now, I haven't had an opportunity to see that. There's no trailer for next week's episode because there isn't one until a year from now. So, like I said, don't like it. Get in the fucking car with your baby and get out of there. Find some other way. Whatever. I did like the David Byrne song or the Talking Head song, Burning Down the House. It's another metaphor, I guess, But it's easy. The season's over. I thought it broke me. I didn't know what this video was going to be like, but we will be back next year. I want to thank everybody for watching all the, this last video before the penultimate episode didn't do well for hits. But I still want to thank everybody for watching, everybody for all the support, all the new subscribers I got just for watching The Handmaid's Tale. So truly from the depths of my heart, this show has changed my channel. All of you have changed me and my channel. And so hopefully you'll all tune in next year when the show comes back. or stick around and watch some of the videos that I make now. We did put up the first episode of Sharp Objects, the HBO show with Amy Adams, based on the Gillian Flynn book. We have Preacher, which isn't for everybody. We still have comic reviews and other things that just kind of suit my fancy. So anyway, if you liked this video, please hit the like button. We really appreciate it. We also appreciate any comments, negative, positive. Put me in my place. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. We are running this like 156, 157 area right now, which is great. Any new subscribers would be fantastic. I would like to be up to 200 before the end of the summer, so that would be great. Share with your friends, anybody who likes to listen to this lunatic talk about the Handmaid's Tale and other things. So, I would like to thank you again for watching Season 2 with me, and we will see you on the next video. And in a year from now, if I don't see any of you or hear from any of you in the comment section, we will see you next year. So, this is Rob from Smirking Gun Reviews saying, have a great night. Bye.